So at this point, I don't know which story coming from Marvel is moving faster. I don't know if it's Jonathan Major's story that's moving faster or if it's Victoria Alonso. Both of these stories are moving so fast and they have so much information coming out about them that it's hard to even keep up. But now apparently we have more rumors swirling around Victoria Alonso. So in this particular article, we're talking about the fact that there's a new rumor that claims Victoria Alonso was fired for refusing to censor gay propaganda in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania for Kuwait. Now, this rumor is completely off the chain. This is something that is completely different from what we've been hearing in regards to her firing. A lot of it has to do, or supposedly has to do, with her involvement in an Amazon film, but that's been debunked by her own lawyer. Whether the lawyer is telling the truth or not, obviously that's up to debate, but ultimately that's what they're going against. And they supposedly are waiting for Victoria Alonso to make an official statement, of which she hasn't actually made one yet. But now this rumor is completely off the deep end, where apparently this woman refused to censor gay propaganda in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and apparently that led to her downfall. Now, coming from Disney, I really have a hard time believing that. I really do, considering that Disney's entire motto is nothing but gay agenda 24/7. Now, we have already known that Disney is heavily hypocritical. If you look at Disney's profiles in other countries that are not in the woke United States of America, you would realize very quickly exactly where they truthfully stand. But in the United States, I don't think they would fire Victoria Alonso for not doing something against the gay population. It just doesn't. It's just very weird to me. But let's see what this article has to say. So it says a new rumor claims that Victoria Alonso was fired from Marvel Studios and the Walt Disney Company because she refused to censor gay propaganda in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for screenings in Kuwait. This new rumor comes after Alonso's attorney Patty Glaser issued a statement claiming Alonso was silenced by the company and then terminated for refusing to commit something reprehensible. Glaser first addressed reports Alonso was fired due to her involvement with Amazon Studios Argentina in 1985, telling Variety the idea that Victoria was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a personal passion project about human rights and democracy that was nominated for an Oscar and which she got Disney's blessing to work on is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I've agreed with this particular assessment. Like, I don't think that Disney would let go of someone who's been with the company for 17 years, who had all the power that Victoria Alonso had, even though people are trying to say she didn't have any power. Still, ultimately, she was there for 17 years. She was basically one of the mothers of the MCU. So, of course, I don't think they're going to get rid of her simply because she did a couple of press tours regarding 1985 Argentina. But again, it could be, everything's up in the air right now. We don't know the exact reason. Nobody's saying anything. All there is rumors right now. It says she added Victoria, a gay Latina, who they always have to remind you, by the way. They have to remind you in every single interview, in every single article, that Victoria Alonso is a gay Latina, as if anybody gives a shit. It said Victoria, who is a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated because she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made really poor decisions that will have serious consequences. There is a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another. Now, again, I think if I were to believe something which is more likely in terms of a rumor, I would be more likely to believe that Victoria Alonso did, in fact, try to stand up to some sort of censoring against LGBTQ content. And she might have been the voice that was convincing Disney not to censor LGBTQ content and lose all this money overseas that they've been losing. She might have been that voice for all we know. But ultimately, I am more likely to believe that she was fired for something like that versus her involvement in 1985 Argentina, considering that her involvement was very, very minuscule in that particular film, and she was just basically doing press tours. I really don't think that that's why they would fire her, and I almost would guarantee she would get permission beforehand. But this seems like something that they would probably let her go for. But again, considering she herself is a gay Latina, that's kind of going against what they say their ideology is. It says, according to a new rumor from the Hollywood Reporter, THR, this reprehensible act she refused to do was censoring gay propaganda in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in the form of rainbow flags and the phrase pride on a San Francisco storefront. THR's Pamela McClintock and Aaron Couch claim some insiders at Disney believe the reprehensible act referenced by Glazer was a request to censor gay pride references in the latest Ant-Man movie for the Kuwait market, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. They explained in January, as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania Quantumania was being readied for release, word came down that Marvel executives wanted an editor to blur a storefront window that featured rainbow decorations and the word pride for the version of the film to be released in Kuwait, which has restrictive anti-LGBTQ laws. The storefront was shown in two brief scenes in which Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, walked down a San Francisco street. This is the latest in a number of swirling as to the reason why Alonso was fired. The Hollywood Reporter's Kit claimed Alonso was fired because of her involvement in Argentina in 1985. So again, it seems like something like censoring a storefront sign or anything like that seems to be something that would be very easy to censor. I doubt it would take a lot of work in terms of re-editing the movie or whatever the case may be to try to censor something like that. So I don't think that they would necessarily struggle to do so. It doesn't really take away a message because a storefront sign, even though it's there for obvious reasons and we know why it's there, ultimately to remove it is very easy. And to think that, oh, a storefront sign is your battle to get LGBTQ rights in other countries, you're not really doing much there. You might as well just remove it and move on with your life and get more money for this movie so you can spend it elsewhere that would actually make a difference in whatever cause you're trying to fight. Because a storefront sign in a movie is not going to help you in that bullshit cause that you're fighting. So again, I don't think this is something that they would have trouble with necessarily doing. And I just don't see her treating this as reprehensible. I don't think this is reprehensible. Even if I was on that side, which thank God I'm not, but even if I was, you would have to say to yourself, is it really that crazy? Like, is this really something like a hill that's worth dying on? Because if she got fired for this, she must have known that she got a lot of pushback for this. So, is this really a hill that's worth dying on? Do I really want to die on this hill that's talking about a storefront sign? Or do I just want to censor it, get way more money for my movie than I normally would, and move on with my life? Again, I think I would choose the second option. But then again, there's some people that are so strong with their ideology, they would do literally anything to support it. So, you never know. It says Kit reveals sources say Alonso did not ask permission to work on Argentina 1985, nor did she give notice when Disney found out about the project and the violation. Her longtime service and veteran status led the company to give her a dispensation on the condition that she did not work on the movie further. I just don't agree with this. I don't believe it, but maybe it's a combination of the two. It could be a combination of both. Maybe she did do this with Argentina 1985, and she also didn't want to ban the LGBTQ content for Kuwait. It could be a little bit of everything, or this could be all just made up nonsense from people who are trying to pretend like they have sources. I mean, it just you never know when it comes to this stuff. But I do find it interesting, and I am waiting for Victoria to come out with her own official statement so we can see exactly what the story is from her side, and then that way Disney themselves can respond in, to whatever she may say and accuse them of, because you already know, considering they're throwing around the gay Latina thing, she's probably going to accuse Disney of some crazy shit. So I can't wait to see them eat each other. They're going to eat their own. This is great when it happens because it always happens, right? Like the woke eat their own. We say this all the time. And now Victoria Alonso is going to end up trying to go after Disney. Disney's going to end up defending themselves against Victoria. And it's going to be some crazy woke fucking showdown, the likes of which we haven't seen in quite a while. And I'm excited to see it. And I don't know about you guys, but I am. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.